Authorities have identified those officers as Officer Todd Waters, an 11-year veteran. He was initially hospitalized with a gunshot wound to the shoulder, but is now back home. Officer Derek Cruz, a 6-year veteran, was also shot but did not require hospitalization. South St. Paul police also released an image of a squad car that was at the scene. You can see the windows were shot out and the car is peppered with bullet holes. Today, the man arrested in the case was officially charged with 4 counts of attempted murder. We also learned that 33-year-old Dustin Bilderback was civilly committed 14 years ago to the St. Peter Security Hospital and considered mentally ill and dangerous. At some point, he was granted a provisional release and began living in a group housing facility where the shooting took place. According to the facility, a caseworker had just told Bilderback that his lease was being terminated, and he then allegedly walked out to his car, grabbed a gun from his trunk, and opened fire. Bilderback has a hearing next week to determine if he's competent to stand trial.